Hi Scorpio, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you are doing really well. Welcome to the month of June, and let's talk some astrology before we get into your reading. If you would be interested in booking a reading, you can do so on the website rubyreadstarot.com. If you haven't already, do smash that subscribe button. Hit the like button, it also helps the channel grow and lets others know that we're here. Scorpio, on the 3rd, Mercury goes direct in the sign of Taurus after a rather rambunctious retrograde in the sign of Gemini. I think this is definitely the time to firmly move forward with stagnating plans. It's also a good time where you can finally make some plans for the future. Long periods of stagnation are over, and I think the delays are done. So it's a good time to move forward, make plans, and solidify what it is that you want to do moving forward. On the 4th, Saturn goes retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, and this is the time where isolation or isolating yourself from your social sphere, by just creating boundaries, I guess in order to get yourself connected to yourself a little bit better, is probably what this time is going to be about. There's probably going to be a lot of revelations, a lot of reasons why you might need to step away from the crowd a little bit and just kind of focus on what you're offering to yourself and how truly connected you are to yourself. And if the things that you're doing are in true resonance with you, and if they're not, it's probably a very good idea to just question why you're doing certain things, and if you truly feel like you're doing them for the right reasons. On the 13th, Mercury re-enters the sign of Gemini again for the second time this year, and it's time for some much needed partying. It's a good time to socialize, take a holiday. It's a good time to catch up on the chit chat, have a little gossip. On the 14th is the full moon in Sagittarius, and I will just say that this is absolutely the time to have fun. Okay, let your hair down, don't take it too seriously, party as hard as you can. This is a full moon in Sagittarius. Who cares what's going to happen in the morning? On the 21st, the sun enters the sign of Cancer. This is the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. We've got 4 weeks of shifting our attention to protecting ourselves, our families, our homes, our home lives. On the 22nd, Venus in Gemini. Venus moves into Gemini. This for me is the ultimate fuckboy sign. It's exciting but fickle. It's sociable. It's fun. It's flirty. It could be intellectual affairs here and there, that are probably over as quickly as they become. Ghosted if shit gets boring. On the 28th is the new moon in Cancer, and home and community is very much in focus. Neptune being in retrograde in the sign of Pisces beginning that day is really going to ask you to separate facts from fiction. Scorpio, for the month of June, you've really got to look at the things that you're doing and why you're doing them, and if you truly relate to them, or are you just doing them because you see other people doing them? Where is the authenticity? Where is the truth of who you really are? In the month of June, it's a good idea to try and make plans for a future that involves things that genuinely resonate with you, and it's a good time for you to get to know you better, as opposed to monkey see, monkey do, or seeing somebody else do something and then you jump on that bandwagon and you think that that's your thing. And it's not about doing things that you see other people doing. This is, I think, the transformation, Scorpio, that has been hanging. It's been waiting for you for a really long time. Like, who are you? What is original about you? What is the truth about you? It's not about faking situations, because ultimately that's just going to mean that you're spending a lot of time and energy covering up your tracks, or covering up the extra things that you have to do to make it feel like it's real. Do you know what I mean? And there's not a lot of growth in that. There's not a lot of spiritual evolution in that. There's not a lot of intelligence in that, okay? Don't force yourself into situations that you know don't fit. Don't try and get yourself involved with people that you know are not your people. And even in terms of careers or relationships, Gemini season has a very honest way of bringing about the truth of a situation, a very intellectual way of exposing people and things. And so I say to you, if it's not in true authenticity, if it's not in true resonance, if it's not something that's genuinely what you are or your life purpose is, then don't do it because you see somebody else doing it, okay? The first card is the King of Cups. Gemini, you're being advised to, sorry, I keep calling you Gemini. Scorpio, there might be a significant Gemini here. Scorpio, you're being advised to get a bit of emotional intelligence in the month of June. You're going to be asked to really try and remain as firm in these really volatile waters, which means volatile emotions. Your emotions may be up and down right now, and you're being asked to kind of use emotional intelligence to stabilize. I think life is such that it's never smooth sailing all the time. I mean, wouldn't we be bored if it were? But there is a need for you to stabilize, okay? And I do think that with Mercury going direct in the sign of Taurus, finally, you might be given an opportunity to see what it is that you can emotionally invest yourself in that's so true and so honest to what you are, that moving forward with authentic plans might mean that you're showing up emotionally intelligent or having to show up emotionally intelligent. The Page of Wands and the Queen of Wands. I like this energy. I really do. I feel like there's some form of invitation that's coming forward from a fire sign, an Aries, Leo, or a Sagittarius. There is a need for you to make some sort of invitation. To either you'll be receiving an invitation from a fire sign, or there's a need for you to step into a period where you're being a lot more creative and you're working on your confidence, Scorpio. I feel like emotional intelligence and confidence might be two of the things that are really being asked of you right now. And so there might be somebody that comes forward with some sort of invitation, or it might be an invitation, a fiery invitation that you're making to a fire sign. Definitely Leo energy here. That's the Strength card. This is the Three of Pentacles, and that's the Five of Pentacles. Scorpio, you may have to really overcome some of your demons here. And this is asking you to step into greater consciousness. You've got to overcome certain lower vibrational things, certain shadow things that you may be doing. I mean, this is looking at your shadow side. It could be jealousy, it could be obsession, it could be being manipulative or being critical. It's all of those things. It's all of the lower vibrational things that you're being asked to overcome, right? There is a growing up, a stepping into your power by showing strength and courage, by really asking yourself, what have you been about recently? There's some sort of contract, something that requires your part within it that I think needs some sort of revival, okay? And it's almost as if this connection is really lacking, and it may even be that there's some sort of overcoming that you've got to do in order for a new beginning, which might even mean, you know what, everything that you've been doing up to now that you know hasn't necessarily been in true authenticity with you, but you've just been doing it or going along with it for whatever reason. I mean, I think it's really important for you to look at your part within it and how it may have left you feeling less than, or like you've been not given your fair share, or that you're not getting enough, or that you're not getting all of the things that you know that you want, but it's not coming to you. And so there is some sort of need for a new beginning. There is some sort of need to kind of just take a completely different direction. That is the 9 of Swords. That is the 8 of Cups. That's the 2 of Swords, and that's the Tower card. On the bottom of the deck is the 6 of Pentacles. There has been a lot, for a lot of signs, Virgo especially, about give and take recently, and how a lot of scales have been tipped where the balance hasn't necessarily been there. Scorpio, I do feel like there is a time, the 9 of Swords, where you really have to confront and really address these things that you know keep resurfacing. The things that are really holding you in a low vibration, the things that have kept you up at night, these things that you know you have to kind of honestly confront about yourself, about the reasons why they're holding you in a certain place, and how there is a need for you to move forward in a new direction in terms of something that you know is more emotionally satisfying. Because I feel like all of the things that you're trying right now are only energetically depleting you, and part of overcoming and part of rebuilding emotional intelligence and confidence is knowing when you need a brand new fresh start, and when you need to walk away from something that you know is not going to work for you, that you know is not keeping you in a high vibration or in a good place. You might be finally deciding to take course and move on in search of what you know is for you, what's truly for you. And I think if this energy of being in two minds or conflicted or feeling like you don't know which way to go, I think whatever's crumbling or whatever's not working or whatever is not being successful for you, you have to really look at why it needs to go from your life. Because unless there isn't an equal give and take, unless there is not an equal balance there, unless you're not making sure that you can only give from a place where you know you have enough to give, as opposed to not having the correct backup or the correct education or the correct support, and then trying to give from that place is only going to make towers crumble. Scorpio, there is a massive need for you to walk away and make a fresh start, and that might mean that you're being really brave. But ultimately, your confidence and your emotional intelligence has to step in when you know that something's not working and it's not going to work, and that's probably because it's not in true alignment with you. So if the tower crumbles and if you are being shown by the universe like, hey, this isn't for you, this isn't working, okay, there's no point in you being conflicted or in two minds when you know that you need to balance the give and take, and you need to go in a direction that you know is more authentic to you, Scorpio. I think that's all I have for you. If you enjoyed the reading, please do give it a thumbs up. If you would like to book a reading, you can do so on Rubyreadstarot.com. Thank you so much for joining, guys. All of my love to you. Take care.